Okay, picture this for a second. Your kid is sitting right there at the kitchen table. Laptop is open, homework is due in what, exactly 20 minutes? And there's just this blinking cursor on the screen. But they aren't actually writing. Instead, they're literally asking a machine to do the thinking for them. Well, welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving into a fascinating and honestly deeply urgent topic based on some really eye-opening recent research. We're going to look at the impact of artificial intelligence on how we, and specifically how our kids, actually learn. We're going to explore the hidden neurological costs of removing cognitive struggle. All right, let's just jump right into the deep end here with a number that kind of blew my mind: 84%. As of 2025, 84% of high school students openly admit they're using generative AI for their schoolwork. And we're not talking about some distant sci-fi future here. This is happening right now. That is a staggering majority of an entire generation actively outsourcing a massive chunk of their daily academic effort to a machine. But wait, let's instantly contrast that with another wild statistic: 60%. That's the percentage of K-12 teachers who are already using AI to grade assignments, plan their lessons, and manage their classrooms. And get this, the data shows that nearly 70% of these teachers report getting little to zero formal training on how to safely navigate this stuff. So when you put those two realities together, you end up with this perfectly closed, totally automated loop. Think about it. Step 1, the student uses AI to write the essay. Step 2, the teacher uses AI to plan the lesson. Step 3, another AI tool scans that exact assignment for plagiarism. And Step 4, an AI grader evaluates the whole thing and spits out a score, right? Everyone saves time. Everyone rushes to the next task. But hold on, I want to slow down for a second and ask you a really crucial question. When you look at this highly efficient, totally automated loop, where exactly did the learning happen? If the student's mind wasn't actually engaged and the teacher outsourced their judgment to software, what is actually left over? And that brings us to the core thesis of the research we're looking at today. It's a pretty stark warning. The greatest danger is that AI may be replacing the struggle that allows children to become intelligent in the first place. You see, for generations, we just inherently understood that the actual process of education mattered. You know, the frustration, the late nights staring at a textbook, those light bulb moments when a student wrestled with a really tough concept and finally got it. That friction was where the transformation happened. And researchers are now finding some pretty disturbing neurological costs to just deleting that friction. So let's unpack that in section 1, the illusion of learning. To really grasp this, we have to remember that the human brain isn't built by just effortlessly consuming answers. It's built by generating them. The friction, that's not a bug, it's the feature. The struggle literally is the growth. And this perfectly explains this crazy paradox researchers just found in some international education studies. Check this out. When students use generic AI chatbots to practice math problems, their practice scores absolutely skyrocketed. I mean, parents were thrilled. Kids felt like geniuses. But when researchers took the AI away during the actual tests, those exact same students performed significantly worse than the kids who had never touched the AI at all. The AI just created an illusion of learning. So a kid can look way more capable on the surface while actually becoming vastly less capable underneath. Researchers actually coined a specific term for this. It's called metacognitive laziness. Sounds super academic, but the concept is actually incredibly simple. It's the gradual loss of the mental muscles required to think deeply because you're repeatedly outsourcing that thinking to a machine. Our brains naturally adapt to convenience, right? But over time, that convenience slowly morphs into complete cognitive dependence. So your kid might look incredibly productive on paper, but they are actually building far fewer real cognitive skills. Which leads us to section 2. The threat of simulated empathy. Because guys, this issue isn't just about math scores and essays. There are massive emotional risks here too. Simulated empathy happens when AI mimics social signals, stuff like care, understanding, infinite patience, without actually experiencing a single one of those emotions. And the American Psychological Association has explicitly warned that adolescents are incredibly vulnerable to this. Why? Because a chatbot is always there to give endless affirmation. There's no judgment, no conflict, no awkward silences, zero rejection. It is quite literally everything that a real human relationship isn't. And that brings us face to face with a really stark reality. The machine sounds caring, but it doesn't actually care. It sounds understanding, but it has zero real understanding. Look, human development relies entirely on navigating real relationships. It depends on feeling discomfort, learning empathy through arguments, and growing through those incredibly awkward, messy social moments.
If kids just start turning to an artificial buddy that constantly agrees with them 24/7, we really have to ask what happens to their emotional resilience? What happens to genuine human connection?
Let's look at the bigger picture in Section 3, efficiency versus human understanding. AI isn't just popping up in a vacuum. It is entering a culture that is already perfectly primed to accept it. We live right in the middle of this intense American obsession with optimization. The message is everywhere. Work faster, deliver faster, consume faster, scale faster. I mean, we optimize our workouts, our diets, our sleep. I'm pretty sure someone out there is actively trying to optimize how fast we can relax. Our economy strictly rewards extreme speed. So naturally, a tool that can churn out a 5-page essay in 3 seconds, that feels absolutely irresistible to a student who's stuck in this high-pressure environment. But here is the ultimate catch. Human development moves in years. Let's just really slow down and sit with that for a second. Human growth has never, ever operated at the speed of technology. A child learns to read slowly. They learn to reason slowly. They mature slowly. The human brain still develops according to ancient, incredibly slow biological rhythms. And if history has taught us anything, it's that when our technology advances way faster than our human adaptation, society usually pays a pretty heavy price down the line. And this isn't just a problem for today's middle schoolers. Think about the future stakes here. We are talking about the engineers who are going to design our bridges in 20 years, the doctors who will be diagnosing our illnesses, the judges interpreting our laws, the voters shaping our entire democracy. If cognitive dependency just becomes the totally normal baseline during childhood, what happens when an entire society slowly loses confidence in its own ability to think independently? What actually happens when we permanently outsource our judgment? Let's talk about where we go from here in Section 4. The future of friction. Now, it is absolutely crucial to clarify something. This is not an argument against AI. The technology itself isn't the bad guy here. The key is how we separate the tool from the human. AI technology provides answers, it generates information, and it imitates understanding. But human beings, we provide wisdom, we generate meaning, we actually understand. Think about it. A calculator didn't destroy mathematics, right? Because kids still had to learn basic arithmetic first. In the same way, AI should be used to enhance our thinking, not replace it entirely. We have to fiercely preserve the struggle, the blank page, the brutal math equation, the tough, uncomfortable questions. Those aren't obstacles we need to optimize away. They are the exact spaces where human beings are shaped. Which leaves us with one final, super profound question to chew on. Are we teaching children how to learn, or are we just teaching them how to ask a machine to do it for them? Because, sure, technology can hand us the answers on a silver platter, but only humans can provide the wisdom to know what to do with them. How we navigate that distinction is absolutely going to be the most valuable skill of the 21st century. If this explainer got you thinking today, whether you're a parent, a student, a teacher, or honestly just someone curious about where we're headed, drop your perspective in the comments below. Hit subscribe for more structured, deep dives into these complex topics, and please share this explainer with someone who needs to see it, because the future isn't just something happening someday, we're building it right now. Thanks so much for learning with me today.